and welcome to the podcast. I'm Gemma Masson, Business Engagement Manager at the University of Suffolk. Today, I'm joined by two colleagues from our apprenticeship team, Rush and Jonni Burton. Apprenticeships continue to play a crucial role in supporting both employers and individuals to grow skills, develop talent, and respond to workforce challenges. In this episode, we're going to talk about the apprenticeship launching this September, the support available to employers, how apprenticeship levy and levy transfers work, and how organisations and individuals can get involved and signed up. Ellen and Jonni, thank you both for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
So to start us off, can you give us an overview of the apprenticeships we currently offer and the highlights that are coming up this September?
At the University of Suffolk, our focus is very much on higher and degree apprenticeships, programs that combine paid employment with university level study and nationally recognised qualifications. At the moment, we deliver apprenticeships across a number of key sectors, including health and social care, digital technology, environmental services, and project management.
Lovely.
Yeah, so these include degree apprenticeships like nursing. We've got nursing associate, registered nurse in two different pathways, so adult and mental health. We've got social work, project management, environmental health, and obviously looking to expand these and build on our portfolio. So it's important to stress that our programs are employer-led. We meet with employers to design the courses, to make sure it's fitting in with market need and that there's a real impact in the workplace.
The academic study is aligned to what the apprentices will be doing in the workplace as well. So it's a complete holistic approach, really.
And at the moment, we're seeing a strong demand for level 6 programs.
Fabulous. And who are these apprenticeships actually designed for? Are they just for new starters, or can they support existing employees looking to upskill?
That's a common misconception. A lot of apprenticeships can be externally fed into, but there's also a need within the workplace to upskill, retrain, and from the experience you've had in your career to actually have that qualification attached to that as well. The employers can look at their workforce and what opportunities they have to upskill with their current members of staff, or if they want to bring in new talent.
Especially at level 6 as well, because you usually find that's people that are looking to upskill. So that's a great way for employers to also retain their staff as well, is to put them on an apprenticeship. And as I say, you could be 18, you could be 108.
There's no upper age limit
there
for
really
apprenticeship.
isn't. And as I say, it is a common misconception. One concern that we often hear from employers is around time and administration. What support do we as a university provide to employers throughout the apprenticeship journey?
We know it can be daunting to go onto an apprenticeship because of the extra administration around it, but that's what we're here to do. We're here to support and take you from the start of the journey all the way until they're on programme and beyond, just to make sure that you feel fully supported.
I think what we're able to do as well, with the help of our employer engagement team, is to help identify the right standard for the apprentices and for what your business needs are.
Apprenticeship funding can often feel quite complex. Can you explain what the apprenticeship levy is, how the levy transfer works, and how employers, both levy and non-levy paying, can benefit from apprenticeships through the university?
It's a tax on the employers, which will go into a pot, which they can only spend on apprenticeship training. So it's really important that you do spend that, because the funding has recently changed. So it was 24 months that this money was retained and then goes, but now it's 12 months. So it's really important that employers are spending that money on training. Otherwise, it's just going to go. So utilise that money and spend it on your staff.
And if employers aren't able to do that, they can, of course, share their levy with smaller employers who can go onto the digital account system and request funding from levy-paying employers. I think it's another way of employers really giving back to smaller employers who otherwise might not be able to afford apprenticeship training.
And with over £3 billion being sent back to the government every year, no company should ever have to pay for apprenticeship training in that respect. So what we'll do at the end of this podcast is put a link to the government site on how to actually do a levy request or a transfer, because obviously businesses that have got surplus levy, they can donate or pledge 50% of that back to a company that isn't a levy, or is a levy, but have actually utilised all of their levy. So as I said, there's absolutely no need for anybody to ever pay for apprenticeship training.
And Suffolk is made up of so many great companies, large and small. We're all working together to support apprenticeships. It's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah.
I think funding can feel a bit complex, and there's a lot of misconception about funding and what can be used and what can't be used. There's lots of complexities around the apprenticeship funding rules. They are updated every year. So we've always got to be on our toes and one step ahead to navigate through those changes. And that's one of the benefits of speaking to the University of Suffolk, because we can help you understand the apprenticeship funding rules and also guide you through the compliance processes that we all need to adhere to during the apprenticeship programme. And that will go through onboarding, through on programme and through to the completion of the apprenticeship.
Because we understand there is a lot to navigate as the employer, but we are here to support you.
It could be quite a minefield, really, if you've never done it before, hence why it's great to actually have that hand-holding experience that we can provide. So from your experience, what are the key benefits for employers who invest in apprenticeships through the university?
I think benefits fall into a few categories. Firstly, we've got retention and engagement, and I think apprenticeships give employees a clear development pathway, which significantly improves their loyalty to the company they're working for.
Productivity as well. Having someone who's studying and learning about that sector can provide really good insights into the team. If they're a new member of staff or an existing member of staff, it gives them the confidence to actually put their ideas forward and also applying that to their studies as well.
I think it brings new knowledge back to the workplace as well.
Absolutely. I was speaking to some other employers the other day, and they were saying exactly that they had their set ways of thinking. They then hired a new, younger recruit, and they had so many more ideas and different perspectives that they hadn't even thought about because they were set in their ways. And now their business is actually running a lot smoother and quicker because of the processes that the new person has put in place. Yeah, I think for employers, the benefits there, especially if they're a levy payer, why would you not have an apprentice?
And we see some great success stories as well. And I think for the apprentice, it's building their confidence as well. Starting off as an apprentice myself, it definitely gave me the confidence to get where I am now.
Yeah, because it's a great introduction into the workplace with not as much pressure as a full-time employee straight away. Obviously, you are an employee of the business, but you have got that support and guidance from the university as well.
It provides that stretch and challenge, not only for the apprentice, but for the company as well, I think.
Historically, I used to be a tutor and an assessor going into the workplace and assessing apprentices' skills and competencies against course assessment criteria. And it's really great when you can actually see those apprentices building their skills and how loyal they become to the company they're actually working for.
It's very aspiring.
And I think apprenticeships are a really cost-effective way of actually building a future workforce for any company.
Finally, for employers or individuals listening who are interested in an apprenticeship starting in September, what are the next steps and how can they get in touch and sign up?
Can I just say the most important thing would be to start the conversation early?
If you are looking to do an apprenticeship in September, the earlier the better. Have that conversation with your employer about your career progression, what you'd like to do. Is there a job suited for you in your current role? Do you need to move departments? And then reaching out to the University of Suffolk and speaking to our business engagement team who can take you through next steps and join up that conversation with your employer. And then we can take you through onboarding and next steps ready for you to start in September.
Absolutely. And I think if you're listening as well and you don't have an employer, you could always take the initiative by approaching employers, perhaps potentially taking a look at job offers that they're currently exploring and then speaking to them and asking whether or not they consider doing it through an apprenticeship route. So you are taking the initiative to find your own apprenticeship.
And there's lots of resources out there for where to find apprenticeships, looking at different standards. So that helps you start that conversation and get you thinking about what you might want to do.
I know that's one of our stipulations, that you do need to be employed to be able to do an apprenticeship with us. And one of the things that you can actually do is go onto the University of Suffolk website, look at our degree apprenticeships, and you can then apply via your line manager. There will be a form there which they can fill out and put in your expression of interest, and then somebody will then contact you and then take you through that scenario.
You can't have an apprenticeship without that support from the employer. the more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. And having that conversation with the university as the training provider, the employer and the apprentice, that's the key to making an apprenticeship work.
Thank you both. It's been great to hear about how apprenticeships at the University of Suffolk support employers and individuals at every stage. So if you're an employer looking to develop your workforce or an individual interested in progressing through an apprenticeship, please get in touch with our apprenticeship team to find out more about funding, levy transfer, and the available programmes. Thanks for listening and look forward to seeing you soon.